Hi everybody, Mr. Black here. I'm really excited to share with you how to build our saxophone and how to make our very first few notes. Oh no, my phone is going. I'll see you soon! All right, so the first step with any instrument is making sure you know which side is up and which side is down. The easiest way to do that is to see where your latches are. If your latches pull up, then you're in the good shape. If that's upside down, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure your instrument case is right side up. The other way typically is to see where the name brand is. If it's on the top, that means that is the top. We're going to go ahead and pop that open. When you pop that open, yours is going to look a little different than mine. Typically, your neck of your saxophone will be in this little area right here. Mine's in a sock. Long story, it's just for safety, that's all. So my neck of my saxophone's in here, and let me show you what that looks like. I just need to get my phone here settled. There we go. Let me see if I can get that neck out, and I'm having all sorts of phone issues apparently. There we go. Okay, so you've got the body of the saxophone, which is right here. You've got your neck, which looks like this. That's what this is called. Typically goes right there. And the first thing you're going to want to pull out is your neck strap. Now that's going to be in this area or with your starter pack, depending on how you got your instrument. This is your neck strap, and I'm going to show you how to adjust it because that's a pretty important step. All right, so basically when people start off with their neck strap, it looks like this, and it is way too far down, as you can see. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold the little angled part down here, and with my other hand, I'm going to hold the plastic part. Now, if I just pull, that'll start to move. For some of us, it may not move as easily, so you just want to grab the bottom part and hold the plastic middle part right here. These are official terms, by the way, official terms of the neck strap. You're just going to pull that up until it's about where you want it to be. It's probably going to be right about there for me. Okay, that's probably about it. But that's how you adjust your neck strap. That's step one. Let's go to step two. Okay, so step two, I've adjusted my neck strap. The next thing I want to do with my saxophone, this is very important that you do this first to make sure that your saxophone is safe and not going to get harmed. You're going to pull out your saxophone from the entire case here. I've got mine right here. Notice I don't have my neck on my saxophone yet. There's a particular reason for that. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to latch in my saxophone's body to this little hole right here. Do you see this little hole right here? Sorry, right here? I'm looking in two places. Right here, this is what we want to latch it through. So you take your neck strap and you simply just go right through there like that. It's nice and hooked. It's not going to go anywhere. Now our saxophone is safe around our neck, which is good. We want that first. So first two steps are done. Let's go to the third step. So third step involves your mouthpiece and your saxophone neck kind of. But you probably want to pull out your reed first. Just like we did with our instrument fittings, you're going to take your reed. You're going to put this side. Do you see this side? Perfect. You're going to put this side into your mouth. Like this. Definitely doesn't taste like a tree at all. Okay, kind of does. Anyways, you go ahead and suck on that. Get it nice and wet. I flip mine like that. Get it nice and wet. And you're going to take your mouthpiece like this. Okay, this is your saxophone. If you can understand me, you're already off to a great start on saxophone. This is your mouthpiece right here. You have a piece called the ligature. It's this little metal piece that goes on your mouthpiece eventually. The first step, which I showed you guys during our fitting, is you take the flat part of the reed. You're going to put the flat part of the reed on the flat part of the mouthpiece so that it is about there. Okay, you don't want too much black showing and not a lot showing. And what I mean by that is the top of the mouthpiece is what I mean, okay? You're going to take your ligature while you're holding, and remember, we never touch the top part of the reed. If we touch the top part of the reed, it's going to break the reed. We don't want that. So I always use my bottom thumb and the sides of my fingers here to keep it guiding. Once I hold that bottom part, I'm going to take my ligature and I'm going to just slide that very carefully over top like this. And voila, step number three is done. That's your mouthpiece. Congratulations. Okay, so we've put on the neck strap, we have the saxophone attached to us, and we'll put the mouthpiece together. Let's take our saxophone neck out. Looks like this. Okay, this is when you're going to want to find your cork grease. Some of your cork grease looks like this. Some of it may look like a chapstick container. Make sure you don't put it on your lips. I mean, it won't hurt, but it just won't be really nice, so don't do that. Okay, all right, cool. So I'm going to take my neck, on the cork of my neck, I'm going to rub right here into the cork grease and get it nice and greased on purpose, but not too much, just a little bit. There we go. And you can use your finger to make sure it goes all the way around it. There we are. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mouthpiece and I'm going to take my neck and I'm going to put it And be careful when you do this. You don't want to grab here and bend your neck from up here, and this part is probably the safest. And remember, we're not doing this while it's on the saxophone. We're doing it before it goes on the saxophone. So now we're going to just slide that mouthpiece on the cork like that. If you have enough cork grease on it, you're going to be in good shape. That is the next step. Well, guess what? Now all we're going to do is we're going to put everything together. So let's do that next. All right, so we've got the neck and the mouthpiece. We've got the saxophone body attached to us. What we're going to do next is we're going to loosen this screw right here. That's what you want. There are two of them. You want the one on the right. You're going to loosen that one. You're going to take your neck and you're going to slightly just glide it in, twisting it back and forth. Not yanking. We don't want to bend anything, just back and forth. And then we're going to tighten that screw so it stays in place. And friends, you did a great job. Let's talk about how we hold this now that we put the entire saxophone together. First, you're going to start with your left hand. Hi, I like to wave with my left hand. It's fun. You're going to take your thumb. Your thumb goes back on this little black knob key thing. Totally official. That's what it's called. It's actually your thumb key. That's all. And you're going to take your hand and you're going to wave to me all the way around. And this is where things get tricky. So be very careful while you're watching this video. Your first finger is actually not going to hit this first button. Your buttons look probably a little different than mine, but that's okay. It's actually going to hit this button, okay? And then there's a tiny little guy. No, we don't want to put our middle finger there. We want to put that on the next one. So it's kind of like the flute where we skip one button. And then your ring finger goes right here on the next one. And what do you notice? Your pinky is laying right here on that pinky key. You don't have to press down that pinky key. It's fine. But these are your first three fingers over here in your left hand. Let's talk about the right hand. The right hand, you can wave. Hello, hi. Your right hand thumb goes underneath the thumb hook right here. And we're still waving, which is pretty exciting. We're going to take our pointer finger and we're going to place that on the pearl key that's right here that you'll see. Then we're going to put our middle finger right here. Then we're going to put our ring finger right here. And what do you know? You're holding the saxophone correctly. The next step, we don't want to put it in the middle. Nah, we'll get there eventually. Not to start. We want to put it off to the side. And once you do that, we want to bring it up to our mouth. And you know what? You're ready to play. Congratulations! So when you do go to play, we want to make a really good sound. And let me remind you how to do that. We probably did it in your fitting, but I want to remind you again. Take your bottom lip on the saxophone. You're going to roll it and like this. Yeah. Ho-ho. Yes. I don't know why I made that sound, but I did. Don't look at the beard. Look at the mouth, not the hair on the face, okay? There's my mouth. Bottom lip's in. Corners are nice and tight. And now I'm going to take my neck on my saxophone and I'm going to pull that right there. And now my top teeth are going to go right on top. And here's the deal. I don't want to squeeze too hard, but I want to make sure that it's not going to move. Watch. I'm not letting it move. Now, if I was loosey-goosey, I would get this. I don't want that. I want... Okay? Once you got this, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a big deep breath. Use the corners of your mouth to control the sound like this. You get a really good sound when you push your air out a lot. Notice my cheeks aren't puffing. Check it out. Let's do two more. That's the sound we want. Now, if I put this all together and I hold my hands correctly, I can do some cool things. Check it out. There you go. You are ready to play the saxophone.